can see around the area, everything's changing. Places that used to be great diners, hardware stores, and things that are necessity to neighborhoods are getting shot down. That back there behind me is going to be partially a movie theater, which is kind of cool, but I think hardware stores and a bunch of other things are better because we need things. We got to repair. There's no more mom and pop shops anymore. And it's always changing. You either can't keep up the rent up here, cost goes up, a store probably only stays here for about a month average. It's always changing, unfortunately.
Some days it kind of feels like I feel really small against, like literally, but also metaphorically. Like I see this happening at such a fast rate, it's kind of hard to stop. And I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself, and I feel like a lot of people that are in activism do that. They say, well, what can I do? I'm just one person. But then, being in Perfect City really reminds me that, like, I'm not alone in this process.
I am from this place. I am supposed to belong. I belong, but sometimes I need to clear the passage.
That way, like, to really envision the future that I want, and for the future of, like, people of color to stay in New York City, it's really cool to be in Perfect City and, like, talk about things that we can change and, like, we actually are working towards in a 20-year process, hopefully. So
I think what Perfect City does well is ask questions of the public that if we answer together might have an impact on the city. And then I think individual members from Perfect City are just educating themselves and getting more vocal politically and taking a more activist stance because of coming to meetings. So for me, like, our meetings are really the focus. That's really what is powerful about what we do. And I think we're still looking a little bit for how those meetings and what's powerful about it translate to a larger public. But I think it's people learn here and then they take that knowledge outward.
Two men in the trunk slowed down, saying things to me like, "Hey baby," and "I love you," while making kissing noises. When you're getting catcalled, it's who thinks they're entitled to your body, who feels empowered enough to catcall you. Whereas gentrification is like, who's the most powerful, who has the right to change a neighborhood? Is it the poor people of color who are living within the neighborhood? Usually not. Most of actually never.
With gentrification comes displacement. And I've been displaced so many times because of it growing up. So you kind of feel vulnerable, you feel like you can't breathe. You don't know what's happening next or who's gonna go or what's gonna go. It's just a matter of time before things get worse.
With the launch, I want to bring more attention to the working group. So a real focus for me is having the working group run the roundtables and present the material that they've made and really shine. So that's largely the goal in front of a like larger public than we've been in front of before. And also really to show off the year plus of research and advocacy and kind of growth that everybody in the group has done.
Gentrification. Wow. Thank you, everybody.